So, to be real with you guys, I haven't been playing that much Roblox, which I know is very contrary to my recent content. It's just that I've been playing too much PC.
I do. I'm dirt.
And also for entire gotcha games on the side. That also explains my lack of uploads. But yeah, you get the gist. Because really the only games I play in Roblox now are the Tetris knockoffs. Because I'm in that current phase right now where there's almost nothing to play on this godforsaken platform. You guys get that too sometimes, right? So if I can't find any current Roblox games to enjoy, why not retrace my steps a bit? Let's go back an entire year, or almost 2 at this point. This was when I had stumbled upon a neat little Roblox game called Abyss World. I thought this was something related to a fighting game or something along the lines of that, but to my surprise, it was nothing like that. And by the way, I had no idea what Made in Abyss was at the time, so I had no idea of connections whatsoever, other than the Spiral Abyss from Genshin, but that'd just be fucking stupid. Anyways, me and my great friend, Fighting Gamer, both hopped in this game, both with the expectations that we'd be killing each other or teaming up against a world of dangerous and malicious creatures. So when we saw that it was some sort of platformer, we were kind of let down, to be honest, but we still decided to keep on going, and I'm glad that we did, because I will not forget the memories we made while playing this silly little game.
Sorry, holding back his tears.
So best bets, you probably don't even know what this game is if you're watching it. If I had to describe its general gameplay, I'd say it's like Jump King and getting over it, but kind of easier and also with many checkpoints. And what I mean by that is, you know, the difficulty, probably. Its main core is really just about this little jumping ability that looks like you're about to take a fat shit. Might as well get used to it, as it's your primary way of traversal. You can jump pretty high, bounce off walls, just at the cost of a few broken legs. Or possibly more. You also have a set amount of lives, which restock at every checkpoint that you could encounter, the deeper that you do go in, of course. So you gotta make the most out of your lives, because if you don't, you restart, and you gotta go all the way back to the top. And that would be pretty troubling if you ask me. So if you don't know where you're going, it's gonna be hell for you. That's where the entire aspect of games like getting over it and jump can come into place, as the game might get decently frustrating as time goes on. Now, looking down at the map from above might be kind of frightening, but you shouldn't worry much. Although the game doesn't directly tell you what to go for most of its entirety, other than the tutorial that is. Sure, in some parts it might be clearly obvious, but for the most part, you gotta carve your own path or follow the inferred one, which does make sense in a game like this. But anyway, that's enough yapping about the general stuff. Now let's talk about what makes this game such a calming thing, in my opinion. Why didn't I mention that it's also the most calming rage game ever? Well, to be honest, that's because I don't think it's supposed to be a rage game. Sorry for the clickbait, but judging by the dislikes, I'd say it's a little too low for a regular RB on Roblox. It's either the quality of the game's cheeks, which it obviously isn't that, or that the people had a pretty frustrating experience. Games like Tower of Hell also go through the same thing. So by that judgment alone, and with the experience of mine and my friends, I guess I could consider this to be a rage game of some sort. And also because the game really tests your patience. So with that out of the way, the real reason I do say it's a calming game is because of its atmosphere. It's truly deceiving, but that's what makes the game great. I'd say this game is very beautiful. It's one of the best looking games on Roblox I have seen in a while, and still to this day, even after a year. The graphics are still also able to show the very blocky side of Roblox, whilst being pretty at the same time. It doesn't give off a retro feel, or something that isn't, you know, that modern in today's standard for Roblox, but it's still pretty unique in my opinion. I will also say that the lighting in this game is phenomenal, and was one of the first things that caught my eye when it came to graphical appeal. Now for the map design itself, upon first glance, it definitely looks a little bit overcomplicated, but once you take a closer look, it's really not that convoluted at all. You'll also probably get used to the layout as time goes on, because you're probably likely to die a lot of times in all the areas. But I really enjoyed the entire map of this game. The game is split into different sections by checkpoints, like the aforementioned, and not once did I feel that each different section was a copy of another. Each area of the map felt completely separate from each other, and they also had their own gimmick, like one was focused on ropes, some on type platforms, and other stuff. And it's also just not the gameplay alone. Like, each level looked pretty different too. The ruined Umbra focused on, well, ruined buildings and the overcoming of moss, while a place like the Windmill Town looked pretty peaceful and not that menacing when you compared it to the former. I love the variety they give off with the map design. It really gives a unique feel to each level and sometimes represents difficulty. I love it, really. I haven't really glazed many maps that other Roblox games have because, to be honest, most of it is pretty shit, I'm not gonna lie. Even for obbies as well, they just don't have as much detail as this game. It also goes the same way for open world games on Roblox too. I'm not expecting like AAA level type of map designs, but I'd say there should probably be more detail around them. Because as a person who kind of pays attention to details and subjects like these, you can just kind of tell the developers of this game had some passion to it. And it's also just that it's just really pretty. That's kind of it. So the world's design and ambience is oddly soothing to me. I can't explain it. It's kind of comforting, even if I die over and over and over again. Just seeing the beautiful map every time I respawn just makes it so I don't get mad after my 14th death or so. Just traversing around the entire abyss is honestly kind of relaxing within itself. So that's just the map. What could also count as atmosphere would be the audio. I mean, it's mostly just the birds chirping and an overlaying single piece of soundtrack over the entire game. It sounds adventurous, yeah, but I think there should be more than just one track.
So this is the after script. Yeah, this statement is bullshit. I was wrong. There's like 5 tracks in the game, and I think they're all made just for this game alone. And they all sound pretty good for ambience. I don't know where I got that it was just one piece of track. I mean, maybe I was just... I'm slow. Anyway, back to the video.
So one final thing, is the overall gameplay itself calming? It's hard for me to say. If you know exactly what you're doing, if you know where to go, this game is completely satisfying. And also, if you don't know where to go, but you still make it to the end, that's also pretty satisfying too. But does that mean it's calming? I'd say so. I think this game is only stress-inducing if you think of it as one, to be honest. If you treat this like a regular old platformer with just a cool map, you should be able to have a relaxing time. Or just, you know, don't take this shit that seriously. Of course, the game is naturally difficult, but that's also where the fun comes from. Now that I'm finishing this up, I've come to the realization that maybe I might be a masochist. I mean, my biggest fear is a dominant goth muscle mommy, so that wouldn't be it, right? But yeah, that's about all I have to say about this game. As of doing my research, there's been new additions of equipment, enemies, and much more mechanics since the last time I played this game. So it's expanded more, which is great. I hope that when I actually do find the time to finish this game in its entirety, since, you know, the last time I played, there was only 9 levels, it'll give me the same experience as last time. Some rage moments here and there, but an overall pretty relaxing experience. By the way, if you do play this game, bring your friends along for the ride. They might find it to be pretty calming, or call your mother many different slurs. It's one or the other. So with that being said, play this game, please, and see ya, fellows. Also, sorry for my lack of uploads. Yikes.